Looks like we're live. All right, then, folks. Ryan here coming to you with a brand new live. And we're still talking about the transformation journey and how important the transformation journey is to our lives. So, how did I get started on my journey? And this was something, it was a unique experience, a rare and strange experience that I had. I have never had any type of experience like that before. It was very different, and it didn't happen like something that I planned for or anything like that. Or it wasn't by any magic or any chance. Well, it could be by chance or by luck, maybe. But I was, at the time, I was in a place in my life where I needed to change. But I didn't quite really understand the importance of changing. Adversities, I didn't even understand how to make them work for you, because that's another thing. We're going to have to learn how to use the adversities as a tool to work for us. Because oftentimes, when adversity hits, we tend to look at it as a bad thing. In the moment, in the time, of course, it is painful. So we view it as a bad thing. But the truth is, adversities are actually there to help us. And that's what the time I was going through. It was a very uh, rough time. And I knew that where I was and what I was doing was not helping. It wasn't working. It was just dragging me further down. And I need to release some things and release some people, cut some people off. Just just uh, uh, um, cut some people from out of my life, and that's what I did at the time. As difficult as it was, but I have to go through it because it was just holding me down. And I'm like, I need to put some people on the chopping block, coldly as it sounds, because I need to get to where I need to get to, and these people were holding me back. So I decided to make the move, make the shift, make the change. I said, all right, let me let these people go. Let me move out of this place. Let me move to somewhere else and to go figure this thing out. But even then, the thing that was holding me back more than anything else was the discipline. I was not disciplined at all. Hi, Braden. I was not disciplined at all. So it took me a while to develop the discipline after listening to some certain audios. And when the guy said it, he said, discipline can be developed. And that's exactly what I did. Hey, Lynn, right? So I decided to develop a discipline so that way I can use the discipline to get the things that I need to get done. And that's what I did. So, discipline is one of the things that you are going to have to, one of the principles you are going to have to get, um, you know, trained yourself to develop. It's like a muscle. It's like any muscle at all. You're gonna have to develop that muscle. You know what I mean? We're talking about personal development, personal growth, and how to navigate adversities, how to make them work for you. That's pretty much what I was talking about there, Lynn. Right? So I start to work on my discipline, and I got pretty good at it. And and then I woke up. I used to, then I start waking up a little bit earlier than I normally would. These are things that I start to practice over a long period of time. Waking up early, read, run, you know, go to the gym. I start doing these things. it's different. It's not the same. Me, before all of that, I want to lay down in bed up until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It feels good to lay down in bed. It feels good to sleep. Now, um, transformation requires you get up out of bed early. Transformation requires you do things that is uncomfortable. And you will always hear people say this: get uncomfortable. Do the things that is uncomfortable. Like, let's say, taking a cold shower. Um, that is, uncomfortable for you to do, but you do it anyways, right? So, waking up early. That was one of the programs that I have to change, one of the paradigms I have to change. So I'm going from from getting up out of bed late to getting up out of bed early to practice these early morning rituals that I like to do. And these are things that I start to work on little by little, bit by bit, piece by piece. So over a long period of time, I noticed some changes and some shifts, but I still needed to remove myself from certain environments. And this is when, yeah, it has to be something mental. Yes, Lynn. Yeah. So I remove myself from out of certain environments. And despite the fact that I didn't understand it at the time, but looking back, and I see, because I was following my gut feeling. It tells me to move, then I move. I didn't really, stay where I didn't feel like I wasn't. I feel like I wasn't making any progress, so I move. And when I look back, and then when I started to study Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he was talking about how important, how crucial your environment is to your well-being, to your transformation, to you getting from where you want right now to where you need to go, makes you better, makes your life better. Environment is absolutely crucial. I start to follow that. And I make some moves, some changes, and over a period of time, I notice, I'm like, oh, now I see the reason why things happen the way how they happen, and the reason why I move the way how I was moving, like move from one place to the next, until I find somewhere where I can work on myself, develop myself, and become the person who I have always wanted to become, which is a wonderful person, a decent human being, ones that want uh, you know, to give back to society, to help other people, to help other people to change themselves while I change myself as well. And these were things that I was working on. But go back to those early days when I was trying to make the change. It was absolutely painful and difficult. Oh my God. I have these voices in my head was just talking like pure rubbish. That's what it was. And so I needed to change. I wanted to change bad. I have made a ton of decisions years earlier. Looking back now, I think I was on, God, I was on Plymouth, and I forgot the other street. I was in some other city. I remember I was right there at that light, and Les Brown was on, and he is a motivational speaker, and he said the decisions that you made 5 years ago, this is what you are experiencing right now. So if you want to change your life 5 years from now, you have to make that decision now, because transformation takes a long time. It takes longer than we wanted it to, and that's just that's just how the universe works. It's really slow. Okay. When I start to implement these changes little by little, bit by bit, piece by piece, I noticed some, I got a relief, because what happened now? Now I know that I can become better than how I am right now. Working for somebody else, and these people don't even respect you. Working for them, they don't respect you. You know, they treated you a certain way. You can see. Yeah, I'm not saying they are horrible people, they are bad people. That's not what I'm saying. But you can see that they don't respect you. The thing is, sometimes we do not respect ourselves either. And that's the reason why, we have been treated a certain way. Other people do not respect us either. You know what I mean? Yep, exactly. Exactly, Lynn. That's what I did. I set up a plan. And I set out to do that, to change. Right? So looking back at it, there are some beliefs that I hold at the time. The belief was, I am not important. I am not valuable. I, so these beliefs been holding me back for a long time. I am important. I am valuable. So are you. But you have to look for these beliefs and change them. Or when you get the information from the universities downloaded in you and tell you that this is what you need to change. Or sometimes you might come across somebody who might looked at you somebody might looked at you in a way and is jokingly, and they are saying that you are not that important, right? You need to take that into consideration. Don't get mad at that person. Listen to what they are saying. The universe has a way of letting you get the message, the information. Maybe they are using that person as a messenger, a vessel to deliver that information or message to you. But you need to get it, and you need to take it into consideration and change. You know what I mean? So, yep, have a positive mind. I did not for a long time, Liz, Lynn, for a long time, I did not have a positive mind. Believe me, I went through many years being a negative person, and I tried to be positive, but that wasn't working because I did not understand subconscious programs, and that's where I was failing. So once I get a hold of understanding subconscious programs, that's when things begin to change. And that's when I could actually, now I can see what programs I need to remove and what programs I need to implement and put into my new program, so that way I can have a beautiful clean program running, one which benefits me and also benefits other people as well, right? So I noticed there was a lot of disrespect I got in those years. Now looking back at it now, I can see the reason for these disrespect. Because I just didn't understand how to change the subconscious programs. I didn't. Finally, I woke up to it, and then I started to implement the changes over and over. So what I would do, I would listen to certain audios, and I would listen to these audios and repeat many times over. So that way I could change what's going on up here, because it was just, oh my God, the chattering that was going on in my head, I could hear the programs talking the whole time once I become aware of it. All right. So, yep, of course, Liz. I mean, Lynn, sorry. I keep on saying Liz. Lynn. Yes, I did that for a long time. I didn't know any better, because there were nobody to teach me these things. I remember one day I was talking to one of my friends, and he said something interesting. He said, "Nobody teach me anything." And I thought that was interesting he said that, because I felt the same way too. Over the years, nobody teach me anything at all. It's by being curious and by being open-minded and my hunger for knowledge led me to where I am today. I always want to know what's really going on. So when this information came into my life, I was pretty much open and ready to assess it, to look into it, to study it, and even eventually do the practices that would eventually help me to get from point A to point B, to change my life, to make my life better, to become a better person. All right. And that's exactly what I did over that long period of time. And now, when I look back at it, I realize that, oh my God, I spent all these years in this low state, negative state, this sad, depressing state. I know, looking back at it, I remember the voices, this chattering that's going on in my head. And I understood what that was. That was called my programming. And that I developed that program over a long period of time, and I worked on that program and to make it really, really good, to the point where it doesn't work for me. It worked against me. And that's what I did. All right. So those early years was nothing but hell. Okay. Fast forward, I have learned how to develop the discipline. So first, I learned how to be committed to something. You got to get good at staying with something for a long time. That is just how it is going to be. Stay with it. Even when you are not seeing any results, it's better to stay with this new thing that you are trying to work on, other than to quit and to go back to where you were. Two choices: stay with what you are working on, quit, go back to where you were. I am not going back to where I was. I'm not doing that. I am going to work on the thing I'm working on now, even when I'm not seeing any results. I'm gonna still work. I'm gonna still put in the work. I'm gonna still show up, because you have to. Quit and go back to where you were. Keep working with the hope, the possibility that somewhere along down the line, things is going to change for you. With the belief, develop the belief that things is going to change for you. Okay. That is what I did, and I'm still doing it. So to get out of that low, sad, depressing state, I stick with whatever these gurus will tell me to stick to and stick with. I did that over a long period of time. And, hey, Gabriel, and the changes happen. You will notice while you are doing this work, maybe it's just me, but you become more peaceful. You become more calm. You become more quiet, and you become more relaxed. You become less reactive. You stop reacting to things around you. Instead, you might respond better. You become less angry. The hatred begins to um, melt away, to dissolve. The trauma, you begin to wash away the old trauma. All these things begin to go away over a period of time. The people who you didn't like very much, and who you hate, um, the hatred begins to go away as well. Okay. Yep, you will notice a change, and that's what I notice. But here's something here, Lynn. A lot of people look for the money first. The first change they want to see is the money. And I think that is a big mistake a lot of people are making. And that's the reason why so many of them quit, because they are not seeing the money. The money is probably the last thing that you get. Believe it or not. I'm not saying you cannot earn the money before you make all these changes in your life. I'm not saying that. But from all the people who I studied, The money was the last thing that showed up. The money showed up after they put in the work, after they make the changes, after they implement the changes, install the habits, the rituals, the routines. They change their mindset, they change their behavior. After all of that, then the money showed up later on. From what I, from the people who I'm studying, that's what I see. They start working on themselves first, and then eventually, by working on themselves, conclusion I came to, new seeds, the seeds that you planted, these sprouts start to, burst open to the ground, comes in forms of opportunities, people, places, things, circumstances. I'm talking about desirable circumstances start to show up. And then you are ready to take advantage of these opportunities. And that's exactly what you do. And that's the reason why these people are successful. They didn't get the money first. I don't believe so. Maybe they do, but I don't believe they got the money first. I believe they work on themselves first, and then the money came in later on. That's just what I'm thinking here. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but from studying them, that's just the conclusion that I arrived at. Okay? So, the self work that has to be done, changing the mindset. You have to shift your mind, you have to flip that over. I can become better than how I am right now. What do I have to do now? So, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I am not in the same situation that I was in. Okay? Right? So, right. Um, so, then when I, so when I was on this journey here, I used to listen to The Stranger's Secret by Earl Nightingale. And the stuff that he was saying on there was absolutely fascinating. I have never heard anybody talk like that before. And I think he was making a comparison about a ship that has no sailor. So there were no one to actually guide the ship. And he said, what's going to happen here? This ship is going to end up, into somewhere where you do not want to be. So he was saying that you got to be the captain of your ship, and you got to steer your ship and guide your ship. One way how to do that was setting goals. I have never even thought about setting goals before. I know I have goals in my head, but to write them down I never thought about writing down my goals up until that time. Money came last. Yep, money came last. Johnny, Johnny Appleseed. All right, so that's exactly what happened there. And I started listening to, and then I came across Bob Proctor. The stuff that Bob Proctor was saying was interesting, because he mentioned, and he was talking about repetition. I remember when I wanted to leave from my country to come to the US. That's exactly what I did. It was I didn't understand what I was doing, but every day I got up morning, noon, and night. I would talk about moving to America, going to America. I would talk about it over and over and over and over. And then I started to read a story in Think and Grow Rich called, I started to read a book called Think and Grow Rich. Then there's a story in there with a man, his name is Edwin C. Barnes. Broke, poor, has no money. He's in Chicago, I believe he was. And he wants to go from Chicago to Orange, New Jersey to go work for Thomas Edison. All right? Hey, Louis. And he wants to go work for Thomas Edison, right? And he has no money. So he decided to jump on the train. He rode the train some way, somehow. He hopped on the train, got into the train, rode the train to Orange, New Jersey. And he went there to tell Mr. Thomas Edison, I want to be in business with you. That's how he showed up. You notice the difference. I'm not here to work for you. I want to be in business with you. I want to be your business partner. That is the difference in mindset. Eventually, over a long period of time, he made millions of dollars selling the stuff that Edison invented. And Barnes has this vision, this dream for many years in his head. But it didn't happen until he finally took action. When he took action, the result was Barnes became rich. He became a, I don't know, I don't know how much he made. For this was like 1905, 1907, maybe 1910, who knows? But he made 2 million, 3 million, we don't know. But that has nothing to do with the story. The fact that he knew what he wanted and he went after it. And these were some things that I didn't understand at all. Know what you want and start to work towards it. And these were the things that actually helped me to make the shift that I was making. Thank you very much, Lynn. Appreciate you. Like and subscribe, folks. You know. Oh man, I probably should freaking start speaking Portuguese with you guys, like from day one, to start learning with you guys. Maybe italki. I think they used to have this app called italki. You could go on there and go talk with other people. I probably should do that. All right. So that was one thing, So these were the stories that helped me over the years. And I'm saying, if these people can do it, I can do it too. I can make the change. And then I learned very quickly that on this journey here of transformation, the self improvement, the self development, the personal development, in the beginning, it's going to be hard. But at some point, you will at least be at peace. If you don't get anything else, you will find some peace in your life when you start to practice this. When you start to, when you get on this journey here, the self, the self improvement journey. When you start to change your life, at least you will find some peace. Because I believe I want everything else in the world, but I find peace before anything else. I have never been to Brazil. I have never been to the EU, so I don't know. And folks, I have to tell you, it is a fascinating journey. It's a wonderful journey to go on, and I want more people to be on this journey here to change their lives. You want to get out of that low, sad, depressing state. Out of it. Get out of it. Raise yourself up. Start to believe that you are valuable. You have value. You can add value to other people's lives. You are important to this world. You are an important person. You can change other people's lives. You can change your life. You gotta start believing these things. But these were things that I didn't believe about myself. I thought I could not do better than who I was. I have to work at some people's job, wash dishes. Nothing is wrong with that, because you're trying to earn some money to pay your bills for right now. But I wasn't just washing dishes. I believe that's where I fit in. I believe that's, but at the same time, I was miserable at the time. You see, something inside of me was speaking to me, was telling me, you are better than this. You can become better than who you are, but I would not listen to it. At least I didn't understand how to even listen to it or how to even interpret what this voice inside of me was telling me until years and many years of misery. Then I finally got to the point I said, enough is enough. I am going to make the change now. But I have to get into the personal development first. These people have to start speak to me first before I can understand what to do, where to go. And that's exactly what I did. Now it's time for you to go through that process to change your life, change your thoughts, change your life, change your mind, create some new experiences. The experiences that you have been experiencing from way back in the day, you have to change those. Now it's time for some new sprouts, new seeds, new trees to grow up and blossom in your life. You're gonna have to do the work though. There's work that need to be done. One, get into fitness. That's one. I said hybrid fitness is my most favorite. It's more preferable. Meaning you run and you lift weights and you also do push-ups and pull-ups. You work out pretty much, right? Plus running. All right. I highly recommend that. Work on your relationships with other people. Two things that people don't like. You talk crap about them and talk crap to them. They don't like it. So avoid it at all costs. So that way you can have great people in your life, and when they come in, you don't chase them out. They stay. Because you want to have friends for the long term. I don't like going around making new friends. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time. The people who I'm around, I like those people. I want to keep those people around. But yes, we have to make new friends, create new connections, and so forth. And that's good. New people, new exciting people. That's fine. All right. So, fitness, making new friends. And don't forget, you need education. You need to educate yourself on a daily basis. Become a little bit smarter than how you are. All right. So, transformation, relationship, and fitness will change your life, will transform your life. That's how I got to where I am today because of those three things: transformation, fitness, and relationships. You need to do it too. Be an example for other people. Like when I got to my 500 days of running here recently, my friend was like, Ryan, it's so inspiring. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. You touch somebody right there. Okay? You can do it too. I don't care if it's one person, you still touch somebody. That one person can go on and go create waves in the world. Sometimes you don't really get the big audience, but the people who you trained got that audience. Like Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was very big, but he trained Tony Robbins, who created massive audiences, massive people, massive amount of people. He touched uh, the entire planet. It works like that. So we have to stop being selfish here. Train some people to become better than you, and these people will get the word out. You know what I mean? So yes, gamer. Um all right then, folks. Ryan here with a new video. Looking forward to see you soon. A brand new video. I am gonna leave it here for right now. Transformation journey. I'm going to be talking a lot about this because I need more of you to get on this journey here so you guys can become better than how you are right now. And you guys can spread the word. You know, become better than who you are. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you are here. Comment down below. Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much and have a good night. Bye bye.